Hello everyone, I just finished my second day in the Certified Agile Leadership class in Estonia, in Tallinn. And I'd like to share with you guys what happened here in these 2 days around this framework that I created for leadership development that is called Leadership Dance Floor. Many of you maybe already know about it. And yes, I will explain you quickly what happened during these 2 days and what happens in all of my certified agile leadership class, in my Cal 1 class. Well, we started by defining what leadership is and what is the difference between management and leadership. You can see this exercise and the outcome from the teams. And out of that, out of the definition that we create together on what leadership is, we start working on the dance floor. We define leadership as the capability of a person to influence in the system, regardless of the type of system. So that's why the dance floor is something that we can use in organizations, but also we can use in the families, for example. So any person influencing in any system, as we understand in this class. Once we have this understanding, we start working on the first stance of the leadership dance floor, which is the purpose. So what's the ultimate result that to achieve? And for that, we are rehearsing how to create a powerful messages to involve as many people as possible, to make as many people as possible to engage with our message, understanding that there are different elements that motivates people differently. And also we try to put a strong focus on getting people around the why, right? Why people do this, what people do things, and what is the ultimate purpose that they want to achieve, to create a powerful visions, which is, in my opinion, something really important if we want to develop our leadership capabilities. So after that, we work on the second stance of the leadership dance floor, which is the context. For that, we support ourselves in the Kinefin model. We have it here. We teach Kinefin, and for sure, this is very important. We don't forget about the dynamics, which is the more important piece of Kinefin. Yeah, thanks to Dave Snowden, I learned a lot from him. Kinefin is a sense-making framework. Is for us to make sense of problems and help us understand how they move from one domain from one area to the other, right? And there you see these dynamics: the green, the blue, the yellow, and the purple dynamic. Being the blue dynamic, the one that we're going to talk about when we mention agility. We're just experimental dynamic is what is going on when we are in the agile environment. So being that said, put that in context and understanding that different environments require different types of problem solving strategies. Yeah, so it's not one size fits all. There are places or contexts in which more rigid approach makes sense, and others in which experimentation is the way to go. Sometimes we need defined processes, we need standards, and some other times we need this resilience to recover after a crisis. So we separate this in 4 types of capabilities that are needed in organizations. You can see this here in the dance floor as standards capabilities, engineering capabilities, experimentation capabilities, resilience. That's something that we want to nurture in organization, and different leadership styles will be better for to nurture each of these capabilities. So after that, what happened in my training is we start exploring the collective dimension of leadership, as everything is connected to what happened in the context. We talk about, then we continue by structure, or what we know geography, and we finish by practices. Using different models, we explain the competing values framework for culture. We understand geography as the combination of the formal structure, which we can see that there are different types of formal structure, or flat structure, hierarchical structure, networks and communities. the informal structure, which is how people relate to each other, how people connect with each other, what are the way in which people are prepared for action, and how these people prepare for action, and therefore the informal structure, the formal structure get together towards the goal, which is the value creation structure. So we analyze the three of them together. After that, we work on the practices. Here, anything, absolutely anything that we do in Agile, any practice at Scrum, or in Kanban, or in Safe, or in Less, or in any kind of method that we use, we could have a bunch of practices that we could put in this part of my meta framework. In this case, what we do is we use the integral theory to understand, well, actually, all possible science in the world. Yeah, I know that this sounds kind of crazy, but the integral theory from Kel Wilber help us understanding that. So making sense of all the practices that every science has. This is a very, very interesting, in my opinion, topic, and there you can see how all possible science is structured in quadrants, lines, levels, types, and stages. And we are going to use this in practice just to help people to establish goals. So what kind of goals should we establish in companies? Being those intentional goals, behavioral goals, social goals, and culture-oriented goals. This is basically what happened the first day. We explore the purpose, the context, and the collective dimension of leadership. In the second day, it becomes even more challenging because we are going to talk about you as a leader, right? Initially, exploring different types of being, the achievement-oriented people, the stability-oriented people, the openness-oriented people, and the flexibility-oriented people. Yeah, the people that enjoy stability, the people that enjoy trying new things, the people that enjoy challenges, and the people that enjoy caring from others. And understanding that we all have a natural way of being and an adaptive way of being. So here is where we start knowing more about ourselves and understanding what is more easy for us, or what kind of behavior are easier for us, and what kind of behavior are more difficult for us. This is in the acting part. We use DISC personality assessment to understand more about ourselves and about our actions, dividing into dominance actions, influence actions, steadiness actions, and consensusness actions. And from there, we develop and grow into interactions, which is when these actions come into reality and they turn into leadership style. And we see that different people influence system in a different way. Some of them by creating rules and standards. We call them deliberate leadership style. Others by just getting things done and being the experts. This is the resolute. Some others just to break impediments when they happen and set strong goals. We call them commanding. Some others by creating strong visions and empowering people towards that vision. Some others by generating ideas and sharing those ideas. We call that energizing. Some others by creating growth in people. We call them affirming and also coaching leadership style. Other influence teams and influence systems by the inclusiveness, the inclusive capabilities. We call these people that the one that influence the system by ensuring that everyone's voices is heard. And last but not least, the humble leader, which is the people that influence systems by ensuring that things are going to calm after a crisis. They're only there when they're needed when something bad happens. That keeps teams together. So this is what happened in the second day. We explored the personal dimension of leadership, and we finished by using the whole thing, like actually using the whole framework, as you see here, the whole meta framework for people to run an initiative, so improve their understanding on how they can influence the system in a structured way. And actually, the structured work as we explained before. We start by establishing a strong purpose, then we move into understanding the context and dividing into what is your next initiative, your next thing to do. Then we progress into understanding yourself and your team as the identity, yeah, who you are, who your team is, what is important for you, what is important for them, and how can that help you getting to your purpose. What are therefore the relationship that you need to happen in your system and the action that you need to implement to reach your purpose, and see if those are available or not. And to finish, we understand what kind of leadership style you need to implement in this context and in this situation, because leadership is situational. And on top of that, establishing practices, deciding what to do next, and creating goals that are connected to this vision, to this purpose. So this is the whole thing. This is what happened in my certified Agile leadership training. I will show you some of the exercises we do in the class. We for sure share some theory, as you may have seen before. And for example, chart model, we have it here. The Ginefin model, we have it there. Also, I explain where self-organization comes from. Finally, not from a theoretical perspective only, but also from a practical. So how to get self-organization to happen. And some of the exercises that happen here are, for example, connected to organizational structure design, and also to how leadership styles are connected to different change management strategies, among many other things. It's a pretty intensive class. It's a very intensive class, actually. That's, boom, it would blow your mind. So, and well, actually, I can say I'm not lying. I have here the surveys for the people. So people say, yeah, they like it. They would like this to be longer. They find it applicable. So as you see that people apparently enjoying in this training. So most important to me is that they get value out of it, and they can from tomorrow start applying whatever they learn in this class. Because yeah, this is the ultimate purpose of this class. Whatever happens after the class, this is just the first step. This is just the first step to grow the new leadership capabilities, knowledge. In this class, you get new knowledge. Next step, put it in practice. Put it in practice. The experience will get you growing into your transformation as your new self that will come after time, after you put in place everything that you learn in this class that I absolutely love. I love this class. I love giving this class. So if you're interested on learning more about the leadership dance floor, you want to join my class, please go to my website, angeldiazmaroto.com, and you will find my next class, and also in the Scrum Alliance, as this is a certified class by the Scrum Alliance. So in scrumalliance.org. So thank you for being there, and I see you in my next certified leadership class. Bye-bye.